Alles alright?
Alles alright.
Okay. Okay. Maar net ietsje maar gaan brengen.
Ja, zeker.
Dan meer maar een beetje geniet.
Hey, dan goed.
Alright.
Alright.
Welcome, David. Thank you very much for your kindness. It has made a big difference. It has made a difference. Your gift, what you have come to give us today has made a big difference. So thank you very much.
Thank you. It's our pleasure.
Good.
International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
Good evening and welcome. I am Martha Hamtenya. In the news tonight, COVID-19 vaccination remains mandatory, says NDF. Health ED warns against tender fraud. Youth in Opua manufacture toy cars from scrap metals. Katima Mulilo Abattoir set to receive a meat processing plant. And round up Business on One, Comments Corner, Sports and the Weather. First up, Namibian Defence Force Mayor General Petrus Nathinge says they expect all prospective applicants who meet the requirements to join the army to be vaccinated against COVID-19. Nathinge's remark follows a public outcry against the mandatory vaccination.
The Namibian Defence Force announced this week its intention to recruit 1,500 new cadets. Of the requirements, prospective candidates must be vaccinated against COVID-19, undergo HIV or AIDS and pregnancy tests, among others. NDF Major General Petrus Nathinge explained that the ministry is not forcing the youth to get vaccinated against COVID-19. However, they expect the applications to be accompanied by all the requirements.
COVID-19 vaccination is one of the mitigating, if not preventive, measures against the spread of the pandemic. During military and fitness training activities, it is not advisable for one to wear a mask, as that may lead to oxygen deprivation resulting in suffocation. Military training is physically demanding and involves contact amongst the trainees. Secondly, military training courses are time-intensive and require all the trainees to participate in all lessons and practices, such that if one was to be hospitalized during the duration of training, they are regarded to have failed the course and can therefore not progress to the next level. In the case of recruitment, failure means one has not met the requirements for enlistment in the Namibian Defence Force. Thirdly, in our bilateral and multilateral engagements, nowadays a negative COVID-19 test and proof of vaccination are prerequisite. It is thus on the basis of these limitations that proof of COVID-19 vaccination is a requirement. Kindly take note that the Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs is not forcing anybody to be vaccinated, but the ministry expects all the applicants to be those who meet the set requirements. I do not understand why there is so much fuss on the issue of HIV. because we are not only testing for HIV, we also test on many other things like hypertension and other diseases or illnesses that may affect one's performance during basic military training. So I think the general public is also stigmatizing against HIV, because it is not only HIV which is an issue here, but it is any other health condition that may be deemed counterproductive to the progress and training achieving its expected results.
NDF Chief of Staff Policy and Planning, Brigadier General Philemon Shafashike, stated that the ministry had put strict measures in place to ensure that the selection and recruiting process turns out fair, transparent, and corruption-free.
This process will be fair because, first of all, we have sensitized the regional governors. We have taken a tour between the 30th June to 5th July, where then we sensitize the councillors as well as the regional governor throughout the whole country. How do we see to it that this process is transparent? Is that one, we have requested the regional governors to make sure that they will not reject any application from any applicant. Whether that applicant belongs to that particular constituency or not, should be allowed to apply. The measures that we put up is that the applicant should make a copy of the first page of the application, because the application will be stamped and the copy will also be stamped as a proof for submission. And then that particular constituency councillor's office will then create a register, which is a master list, where the applicant have to sign as a proof of registration. The councillors then will submit all applications accompanied by the master register to the governor's office, and it will then be confirmed that yes, this is what we have received and this is the application that as per the register. And then when our recruitment officer going to collect those applications, they should also be a proof. When we are going to shortlist, we are also at liberty in inviting the focal person that have been appointed at the respective regional governor's office, just to come and see the process and make sure that the people that are going to be shortlisted are the ones that really have gone through that process from the Constituency Council. So we believe and trust in that process, and we see it as a transparent and fair process. General.
Major General Nathinge also added that in their bilateral and multilateral engagement nowadays,
the battle is on. Protect yourself from diseases and infections such as colds and flu with a range of locally produced Supplemax products. Shield yourself using these natural disease-fighting weapons. Supplemax Immuno CDZ with vitamin C, D and zinc is recommended as an immune booster that could help prevent COVID-19 infection. Supplemax Active Immuno Support helps restore and maintain a healthy, balanced immune system and may help prevent cancer. Supplemax Vitamin C 750 mg is the perfect antioxidant and immune booster in the right dose to fight a range of immune-based diseases. And new on the market, Supplemax Echinacea Active Capsules, which could assist in preventing and shortening the duration and symptoms of the common cold and flu. Supplemax, your protection against disease and infection. Available at all leading pharmacies as well as supermarkets countrywide. A proud Fabiofarm product.
The Health Ministry's Executive Director, Ben Nangombe, has warned the public against engaging in fraudulent activities in connection with submitting bids for the government tenders. This follows the Anti-Corruption Commission inquiry into a case involving a 32-year-old businesswoman who allegedly tried to swindle the Health Ministry by forging Nangombe's signature.
In June of this year, the Ministry of Health reported to the ACC a possible fraud case involving a businesswoman who allegedly forged the signature of the executive director, falsely claiming to have been awarded a $259 million Namibian procurement contract by the Health Ministry. Speaking at the African Anti-Corruption Day commemoration in Windhoek, Nangombe said that the Health Ministry was fortunate to have uncovered the fraud and that no financial losses were incurred by the government.
A person would forge the signature of the executive director or the signature of the chairperson of the procurement committee in the ministry, and then approach financial institutions or companies pretending that they have been awarded this bid and they are seeking to procure these goods. We have on more than 3 occasions issued public notices in the media warning members of the public about these unscrupulous activities, and people have gone out and tried that, but our systems have picked this up. We have warned individuals that were targets of these schemes, either financial institutions or funds that provide collateral for persons who are awarded procurement contracts. So, yeah, that is something that we can confirm that has happened, and fortunately we have been able to pick it up, and no losses were incurred by the state as a result of that.
The ACC confirmed through its investigations that Nangombe's signature was in fact forged. However, the ACC is currently probing how the accused businesswoman was able to obtain the Health Ministry's official stamps.
It was verified that it was a forged signature, and that individual tried to use the documents with the forged signature to acquire funds from different financial institutions. And she went to different banks to say that she got a tender from the Ministry of Health to provide COVID-19 goods, which turned out not to be true. Though that case is still under investigation, because still ACC have to determine or establish how this person acquired the stamps that was on that particular document. Though the signature was verified, it was a forged, but also investigation still continue in that matter. But most of the times, mismanagement or misappropriation that comes out of the tender, awarding of tender, comes to be an administrative type of administrative cases, and most of the times are dealt with internally in different institutions.
Nangombe says that amongst other COVID-19 related crimes that were recorded was the alleged theft of COVID-19 supplies from the Health Ministry, which was reported to the police. He added that the Office of the Auditor General had received the Health Ministry's accountability report, which details every aspect of the procurement activities the ministry executed.
There are different types of decisions, such as rational, habitual, impulsive, and coin tossing.
Let's get started.
The consumption of poultry containing food poisoning organisms, such as salmonella, but the danger to health can be dramatically reduced.
What about other organisms in the animal kingdom? Well, some animals are ectothermic.
Welcome to Lesson 5 for Grade 10 and 11 Mathematics.
Methodologies and approaches in order to produce relevant and suitable results.
innovative young men from Opuo, Kashitahe Muharukwa and Gideon Kodhohura established a small business that specializes in creating customized toy cars out of scrap metals and zinc sheets.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
Two young business partners, 25-year-old Guhamwine Muharukwa and Kupi Kodhohura, run their business of making toy cars in the heart of Opuo in Kunene region. The two young men came together and established a business in 2017 called Kashitai Gideon Company, which is based on one of their goals to pursue a career in car making. After completing high school in 2015, Muharukwa and Kodhohura started a business that would not only keep them busy, but also develop the skills of other young people by teaching them how to make toy cars so that they could support themselves. Muharukwa says he always dreamt of being a car maker, especially those that operate on electric power, but since the course is not offered in Namibia, he started making mini toy cars.
Tamba haitosko la nyingi tena simba hiti mbendi nina muni bya nguli hanga kuganje kwanje nikutara kwanje naye muni kugine myangu ngurambi chimuna mwana imbya ni kinaka ngomige yo akujambi zikutaka muni kombunde kwa muni nyene kwa wandu watu mara mbakanja mujitama me kunde hamuna kuja kunde mbiri nabyo mu madora bina kuja kunde mbiri wanga mbijita mara mbiri wanga muni yumena kuja jo midiriya ko muni no homenne ko midiro nene mena ko jina jira minda yima dungire mbiri ko nguro jina kuje wa ke hiri le wa ko mahia he wiya chiwe yamba awdo nyima do hongo ya ngura inji njimu nyunga ino njino mahina ne ko nyomo do hongo mara nyima do hongo nji ija yungura inje do viniuli timuna mbanu do ayanga na yamba ni rumaye ko para kuja ho to ngura ngita ne do vere ali kana uyo no ko futa ni we jiru jene non dungi do dawo jom dungi je dungi kure yende idanda bali do nene.
In addition to creating toy cars for the community, KGC also repairs bicycles. Muharukwa further urged school dropouts to explore their talents and find something they could do with their own hands.
Business NGO, the Guru Hodo Anajo, Winandiwa, Noguru on basket, I take Mehengamu Janaja take a Guru Janaji, Hamaya take over the no man or no good to go for him without an outdoor here. Similar to how the outdoor and then give you Jangura. Me, or anything you Rumo why does Pele, one Wujama, but very now for what you come and do. Sammy, when I get my hungry, I do no, he don't will down when you know, Gitalin, the Jabo, when I think we end up going to make it. Yeah. We not know you by Junior Jim better Yanda, Bono, Kaliamo, Jew, Ligomboro, Ligago, Yolimo, Chuakamura,
in order to fulfill his ambition of building the first automotive manufacturing plant in Opuo, Muharukwa has appealed to the public to donate any unwanted scrap metals and other goods that could help their business to succeed.
Community Voices proudly brought to you by Namdeb Diamond Corporation. Good today, better tomorrow.
We never thought that this would actually happen in our country, especially for the youth. Everyone wants to play soccer now because of the obsolete.
new meat processing plant worth $35 million Namibian will soon be built at Katima Mulilo Abattoir to increase the meat's value while simultaneously creating jobs. According to the Ministry of Agriculture Executive Director, the Katima Mulilo Abattoir has been exporting raw beef to other countries with less to no value added.
Executive Director of the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Ndiakupi Ngituamata, announced at a site inspection this week that the purpose of the new meat processing plant is to enhance the livestock value chain performance in the northern communal areas.
The most important of this processing plant is that we'll then be able to take our raw material, our raw beef, into the plant for further processing, which also will contribute to job creation and employment for the region. And that's very important to the ministry and to the country at large.
Ituamata explained that the project is part of the livestock support program by the European Union to develop the beef value chain and create jobs in the Kunene, Omusati, Oshana, Oshikoto, Ohangwena, Kavango East and West, and the Zambezi regions.
It's a given that when you are exporting raw material, you are really exporting jobs. We are happy that we are in Katima Mulilo, and we have agreed with the town council for an expansion of the current plot, the Health 577, for us to bring to Katima Mulilo a meat processing plant. And we have seen the land, it's quite enough, and we are starting our job soon. Our minister will come here for a groundbreaking ceremony. The funds, we are going to get it from our EGF 11, that's the funds of Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, together with the European Union. It's quite fascinating for us, and it's a development that is costing 35 million that we are bringing to Katima Mulilo.
Ngituamata added that the EU funding will also include the construction of a quarantine facility as well as the upgrade of the already existing Sachinga Livestock Development Center in Katima Mulilo.
In other leading stories, the Ministry of Home Affairs, Immigration, Safety and Security announced that the Onseepkans, Rietfontein and Sedelingsdrift border posts shall remain closed after initially sending out a statement that they have opened on the 10th of July 2022. The border posts were closed in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which resulted in reduced trade and significant socio-economic hardship in both countries. According to the ministry, South Africa has relaxed health protocols governing the management of COVID-19 in the country, but the borders will remain closed. They say their South African counterparts will communicate to them the exact date of reopening. Travelers are thus urged to respect the regulations and laws applicable in the respective countries, as well as to continue to observe the COVID-19 protocols.
Joseph Shefeni is up next with Business on One and the economic indicators.
Welcome to this evening's edition of Business on One. An Israeli-owned company, Andre Mesika Diamonds, which operates in Prosperita, Windhoek, became the first local diamond trading company to receive a parcel of rough diamonds purchased from the Namib Desert Diamond Company, Namdia. The global diamond company is based in Israel's Tel Aviv, with operations of distribution and trade of rough and polished diamonds in countries such as France, Belgium, Switzerland, India and Hong Kong.
Having been in existence for 55 years in the diamond industry, the Andre Mesika Diamonds Company, which has manufacturing operations and training programs of cutting and polishing facilities in Namibia, employs approximately 50 skilled employees, 28 of whom are hearing impaired and are assisted by sign language interpreters, while another 8 are wheelchair bound.
We are so proud to have so many disability people and to make them so happy and to share with them the potential they have and to let them understand that they are very, very, very talented and in this diamond cutting. And please help us to develop the happiness of these people among us, because they are so happy to give, so happy to receive every day this trust, this responsibility.
The Minister of Environment, Forestry and Tourism at the occasion said the partnership of Andre Mesika Diamonds with Namdia will make Namibia more attractive to all celebrities affiliated with the brand, which will in turn positively impact the country's tourism sector.
The objective for the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Tourism is to promote biodiversity conservation and the sustainable utilization of our natural resources like diamond, and also for the tourism development, for the national, social and economic benefit of the current and the future generation. Therefore, I'm pleased to learn that this initiative by MESCA will contribute towards tourism development, as it will not only enhance our national efforts to promote tourism, but it will also create employment opportunities and enhance the transfer of skills and appropriate technology to our people. Admittedly, the Namibian tourism industry is currently fighting to survive the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic all out the industry, causing mass business closures, layoff of our workers.
Shiveta further stated that the initiative will contribute to the country's pursuit for economic emancipation, economic empowerment, economic development, capacity to reduce unemployment, and the fight against poverty.
The clock has struck for your daily business and financial news update. Brought to you by The Brief.
Namibians will soon know if the country is ready for the fourth industrial revolution amid indications that a team set up to investigate Namibia's readiness will submit its findings to Cabinet by the end of the month. 4IR Task Force Chair and University of Namibia Pro Vice Chancellor Anisha Peters told The Brief that she does not know when exactly the report will be released to the public, but by the end of July they will hand in the final report. The 4IR Task Force was appointed by the President Nagakenkop in July last year to serve for a year until the 30th of June 2022. The 8-member team was established under the Economic Advancement Pillar of the Second Harambee Prosperity Plan and to assist the government in harnessing the full potential presented by the confluence of technology for the future of work and the socio-economic development of Namibia. Botswana Oil is set to establish fuel storage facilities at Mozambican and Namibian ports next month, which will double the country's strategic oil reserves and provide a buffer against declining refining capacity in South Africa. According to the Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Minerals and Energy Ministry, Nchena Motebe, while the country's existing strategic facilities can carry the national demand for 15 days without additional supply, the facilities due in Mozambique and Namibia would collectively hold 30-day stock. Botswana consumes approximately 100 million liters of various fuels each month and receives nearly all of its supplies from South Africa. Namibia recorded 5,181 new vehicle sales in the first half of 2022, an increase from 4,893 vehicles sold during the same period last year. According to IJG, of the vehicle sales recorded in the first 6 months, 2,600 were passenger vehicles, 2,170 light commercial vehicles, and 338 medium and heavy commercial vehicles. This comes as 866 new vehicles were sold in June, which is 96 more than units sold in May, and 2.7% year-on-year increase from the 843 vehicles sold in June 2021. A total of 427 new passenger vehicles were sold during June, an increase of 5.4% month-on-month from the 405 sold in May, but a 0.7% year-on-year decrease from the 430 vehicles sold in June 2021.
This was your daily Namibian business and financial news update. For in-depth stories, read more on thebrief.com.na now.
And that is all we have for you. Be sure to follow us on our social media pages for more on the business front.
The Anti-Corruption Commission says they did not receive complaints of corruption cases involving the direct management of COVID-19 pandemic funds that warranted investigation. Jacob asked about the people who did not receive the $750 Namibian dollars. Newton said the Ministry of Health should publish the records. British said it's good news. Komoto does not trust the statement made by ACC. Lagoleto said this is an achievement. That's all from Comments Corner. Be sure to engage on our stories on our social media pages for broadcast on Today on One. Up next is Castro Olumbu with Sports Update.
Good evening and welcome to Sports on One. I am your host Castro Olumbu. The Brave Warriors reached the top 4 of the Hollywood Bets 2022 Council of Southern Africa Football Association's COSAFA competition after defeating the Barriers of Madagascar 2-0 in Durban at the King Zwelithini Stadium on Tuesday afternoon. The players Absalom Imbodi and Wendell Rudolph both scored in the second half of the game to secure the victory. Goals by wingers Absalom Imbodi and Jwaneng Galaxy's Wendell Rudolph made sure of the victory against Madagascar. Rudolph, who received the Man of the Match award after assisting when he was brought down in the penalty box to hand the Brave Warriors the lead through a penalty by Mbodi, also managed to get on the score sheet midway into the second half when he caught the Malagasy goalkeeper off guard to score from a tight angle through the near post to make it 2-0. In his post-match interview, the man of the match, Rudolph, admitted that the game was difficult. However, he gave credit to the preparations prior to the game.
It was very physical, but we were prepared because we put in a lot of work these past few weeks. We knew that they're going to come out physical, so we had to adapt quickly, and we did just that.
The Brave Warriors head coach Colin Benjamin stated that more work still has to be done in training, but is happy with the victory on the day.
I think it's probably well that we could win the game and that we could get the shot like that in. Compliments to that player, compliments to the team. But I still think there's a lot of work that needs to be done. It's a lot of work. It's very, very raw. At times also a bit unprofessional. And that's definitely not the way. You won't survive in international football with that kind of performance individually. It's definitely important for any team to have stability, and I think Denzel marshaled the defense very well. Obviously his experience, he's been around, he did it very well, but I'm still of the opinion that the energy was not so good in the beginning. And it's definitely points that we have to look at, that we have a good energy when we start the game and not be caught on the back foot like I think we did at times in the beginning.
Namibia has now advanced to the semi-finals of the competition and is waiting to play either host South Africa or Mozambique, who played each other at 1700 hours in the afternoon today. Thank you for watching. Catch us again tomorrow for more updates on Sports on One.
Thank you, Castro. Time now for the weather forecast.
Here's a look at tomorrow's weather forecast. The interior will be partly cloudy and warm in the northeast, elsewhere sunny and mild to warm. The coast will be partly cloudy and mild to warm, and wind will be moderate northwesterly to southwesterly. Here's what travelers can expect in places in and around the country.
We have come to the end of tonight's bulletin. Don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. From me and the rest of the team, it's good night.
The International University of Management, a Namibian university dedicated to its people's future, a hub of abundant opportunities.
We are IUM for life. We are IUM.
World famous, but we can equally produce world-class organic crops and horticultural produce. And this is the reason the Kameho Namibia Development Agency set up this vocational training center here at Fasterai Farm in the Omaheki to teach young Namibians how to be organic farmers.
To train those artisans that will go out there, be ambassadors, produce food for this nation and change lives of their communities and themselves and transform the lives of many Namibians out there.
Ding ons ke Epson. Die Hauptding eins ke Sanibue. Skole ga ga 2018 na tsotso ra ke hapti ka kwaswaza. Skole di ba tsi. Skole ga ngwa qaba ka ra ke ro hap ka qabiwa. Utse ka mqwa ka stara ke sele go itse ka ba hapti ka gerete. Ya class na agriculture. Usranga ra ka da tika di yang kwat amahu like alde die trochte bani ba tsaisa. Ukira nga sige ha science na rasi kayo ora ke luseren ka khonara ho ngo igao.
Students coming to Fast Dry get a Level 2 National Certificate in Horticulture and Crop Husbandry, where each student grows their own food as part of their training. They are free to decide what to plant in their own little garden.
Morokeni wa kwetu okwara. Tanka muri kidanye. Ninka zange zizo nyimbete zange ezani na tapeka ye makoigange. Kwalita purura ko mono mwina motu ninge totunu mwina itapeke komeo atapeke no ntanga komeho. Oi guse monye pena na ikura ya kuruko na ukauke hano itura mevu nge mumkanta pekeresi yoyo ina imbumburu na ho kutumbura hizo ndama zetu imwatu bwana mimage tu tuteke tu burekeke raiti eto iyo kuri siga ho faramezi nya dunya organic ko shezo karangezi na hafa nene mora na kwa kuruka na ininki ina hara unene meparu yangi.
The special thing about what we do and what sets us apart from other training institutions is it's hands-on. Students learn while working, learning in order to get a job.
So this is my seedbed. I've planted butternuts. They're doing well. They are growing. And then by next year, we will harvest. Yeah, I'm doing great. This is my whole seedbed alone. I want to become a farmer at the same time. I want to give it back to the community. That's my plan.
This is the entire garden now.
As you can see, Mr. Terry, soon you will be harvesting your butternuts, ne? How did you manage to give such love and attention? You can see that they are really carrying a lot of fruit.
Yes. Commitment, my friend. Don't parasites or insects. You never see them while it's hot. You need to get up early in the morning so that you come and survey your place. Yeah, can we go see your things also?
Now we are heading to my plot this side.
Which the one of this?
This is for Daphne Ois. This is sweet melons. As you can see, this is already a fruit which is here.
Yeah, very soon we will be eating.
Very soon you will be harvesting. Not so long. And this is our Lutheran.
Oh, I like that guy. I like that guy.
This is our Lutheran plot which grows.
What did you plant here?
I planted sweet melons. Before I came here, I was just sitting at home. I was just doing a small business. I used to sell sausages and hot dogs. Yes, just for survival. So that's why I decided, let me try to further my education and gain more knowledge. My dream is to become a great farmer, an organic farmer which is certified.
Each student garden plot is assessed. This is an enjoyable and effective way to evaluate their practical skills. Many of our young Namibians grow up in rural areas, so speaking and reading English can be really tough. But with a garden plot, you don't need great language skills. What you learn to grow is healthy and nutritious organic crops. Learning by doing.
I enjoy the course and I enjoy our practicals. I'm gaining a lot of experience. Like when I go to the shop to buy a vegetable, I'm crying. It's like I'm wasting something I can do for myself. Yeah, that's what I'm learning right here.
We created this practical training methodology because industries want young graduates with real-life farming experience.
Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are starting with compost making, okay? So what is compost? The first question we always have to ask ourselves, what is compost? Matilda? It's because we are dealing with organic farming.
Keelalakano lyanje okuyako fasitira yokuikendika ndinu nongo unji ngandikaronge farama hakuku iliko kotavi ndikayenga ndinu nongo unji igeni ngo experience oyinji shandika uyandi nango experience oyinji na
muye muturi mujiri ovile kuvimuna okuya jiri matuso kuriunguriro vingura yetuponganda.
Sometimes when I go back home, I really miss my place. I enjoy this place. It's very nice.
We are together. We are now like a family here.
Yeah, it's a good place to be.
Tunombiri no hore imwe tu vitere rombiri po fast drive heto. Pai fengino taturungomboro. Taturi ikuya no yazamo chigadena. Toikuna sene. Ndeshi watoro mbaruru mushikuni no shokuria mushinyungu. Oushimbu nao nombaro njalo kostoro nduru. Kale no wo umwe. O etetube shinda shimuna o vanasiletu. Okushomba ombango no ruthwero YouTube pa. Befula kushaka toka tufukupita mu meho wao.
I'm connected and working for a company in Germany called AfriCrops, based in Berlin, to train and teach young people. And this is the reason why I'm here, to set up and establish this place. I'm shaking hand with a Kalahari here. Okay, now fix it. I have realized that many are coming from a tough background. There's a big improvement, not only when it comes to the education level, what they do in the field, the training, the skills they adapt here. It's really amazing what I can see. Even the place is supplying also good food to them.
At FastRai, we ensure young people who have not finished school get a second chance.
This part is also not bad, but until now I think Mike is even better than this one, to be fair. Looks really proper. This was really the best welding we had in this competition. Yes. Okay, fine. Mike and Matilda. Okay, just bring it in. Yeah? Okay.
Hey, bring it in. So they can do me the best welder from the girl's side, and this one is also the best welder from the guy's side. It's Michael Nampala.
Alongside the practical courses, this vocational training center gives students theoretical and motivational classes.
The head, the hands, the heart. And all together, what should be in the middle? Success. You have the skills now. You have the knowledge now. You do it by your heart. So this is the most important thing, that we have the passion also here. Okay? These are the 3 H's, very important to become successful in your future job. I think we can go to the workshop now and proceed with our welding.
Our head trainer, Veronica, has green fingers. She does hands-on practical training in organic farming principles.
I feel plants respond to touch, yeah? So I prefer to touch them so that they feel like there's someone really taking care of them and to give the yield or the harvest that we expect at the end of the day. So it's a way of connecting with nature.
FastRai is one of the only places in sub-Saharan Africa where you can obtain a formal qualification in principles of organic farming, gain plenty of practical experience, and have a fun time in a safe environment.
We are going to start pruning the tomatoes. So there's a continuous fruiting and harvesting. So you can supply your market with that.
Through this visionary center of excellence, the lives of young women and men are being changed, which makes it a very special place.
I feel that this is a good opportunity for young unemployed Namibians that just want to gain agricultural skills, specifically in horticulture and crop production. So one day they might choose the experience, the practical skills they are getting to further their studies, to set up a profitable project, or simply just to be food self-sufficient.
Inakalari. Osea wechipanjarisa wanja naviyo chakadado kuri ng'ombe. Yarire ndatu kundatu 3-3.
Successful partnerships are the best way to transform and change the lives of young people together. This is why the Comeho Namibia Development Agency made a collaboration between the Office of the Governor of the Omaheke region, the Japanese Embassy, the Namibia Training Authority, AfriCrops in Germany, the Social Security Commission, the Canada Fund, and the Catherine Bulletin Foundation.
So for that, we'll be always grateful. And the support we are getting from our councillors, our regional officers, and our governors, and the whole community at large.
Together, we have established a functioning vocational training center at Fast Dry Resettlement Farm in the Omaheke region.
So I do feel at home because my passion is in horticulture. So that's what makes me happy. And here there's a garden, and then there are people that I'm training, so I feel at home.
In August 2018, we registered with the Namibia Training Authority. We are the only Namibian training center offering a national level certificate too, applying organic principles in horticulture and crop husbandry. When we started in 2018, many of the first intake was San,
which also had a very tough background, and they could not really afford this place and the money for the overalls, to get the food, everything. So this was, for that year, was supported also by AfriCrops.
And this year we have 30 students coming from all regions of Namibia.
I'm very happy that we have reached a milestone,
because we currently have 10 students who are on industry attachment, who are now waiting to be assessed to get their Level 2 certificate due in March 2022. We are very proud of what we have achieved for them to be able to get their certificate.
I think the future looks very bright for this center as we are moving forward.
We feel it's important we prepare our young trainees for the job market. Two of last year's students, John and Otto, have been on job attachment at Farm Krumuk outside Windhoek for the last 6 months.
I arrived here in July for my job attachment here. I've improved a lot from fast drive. So something happened, Miko training I me do fast drive. Kisiku kyo Krumuk, kamika try or two comes or me the correct azuko do Namibia England. Yeah. We don't have a lot of farmers practicing organic farming in Namibia, so this is also a great opportunity for us to start this.
We just farm with nature, not against nature, so yeah.
They came up with innovations. They detected that we have root, not nematodes, in our Swiss chart. I was really impressed with the knowledge they brought here and the help they could provide us. It was great having John and Otto here from Fast Dry. They are definitely employable, and I think a lot of farms and a lot of producers are waiting for young guys like these to enter the job market.
Just look at our sunflower. Thank you. Let me go back to the match.
I'm very, very elated in the fact that Namibians are getting trained. And when we are looking at the poorest of the poor, the marginalized, this gives me joy. So I'm very, very happy that I've been part of this journey. It's always difficult to start something very small and make it grow. And there's a smile on my face. I have done my bit. I have contributed to the development of this country.
10 years ago, Nelago Kasutu, the founder and previous managing director of the Komeho Namibia Development Agency, had a vision to establish a vocational training center where young Namibians learn how to grow crops organically.
My wish that now that we have trained the people on horticulture and crop production, we can now, beside providing and enhancing the food production in Namibia, we want them to be able to export to the outside world. We are appreciating the help of AfriCrop, and we pray and believe that they are going to continue to meet our expectations. Thank you.
So kurinda kongze ake fast rise is kaisara tone ina me o nga tawtwan sina kheta sang aro khane se
I feel Fast Rise is a home to me now. It's a new home. Yeah.
It's a step forward to go to my passion.
Butternut, maybe I will be the first person here to harvest.
I believe in this tree. It's a tree for life.
Shandin joingale runene kutekelike imeno.
But then I also have to come back to the name of this institution. Komeo is providing the training here. And when I think of this name, Komeo is Ovambo language, and it means go forward. And this is what we should do in the future with this place. Just go forward.
Hi beautiful souls, this is Nikita Winkler and I am here to share easy tools for stretching that you can do just about anywhere. In this session, we will be doing mobility stretches. This session is great for you if you want to wake your body up or warm your body up. Please remember that this is a demonstration video. So what's most important is that you take your time. So let's get started. So what we're going to do is we're going to create circular movements in your wrists, your shoulders, your torso, your hips, and your knees. We're going to go one way and the other. So let's get started. Interlace your fingers and rotate. And change. And then we go into the shoulders, big swings in the arms. And change. Remember to take your time. And you can also place your hands on the shoulders, create your rotations. Or if you don't like any of those, just rotate the shoulders back. From there, chest goes front, side, back, side. Front, side, back, side. And now we go for a full circle and change. Into the hips, one way. You can start small.